There are 50 days to go until the American people will decide. The decision will place one of these two people behind the Resolute desk in the Oval Office, making them the most powerful person on planet Earth, with all of the requisite power to destroy all of human civilization. Who will it be? The adjudicated rapist and convicted felon? The man who continues to slander a small Ohio town, bringing chaos and violence and bomb threats to it? Or the Vice President of the United States of America? The race is close. We are covering it here. Let's get started. This is The Warning. Donald Trump joined President Gerald Ford in an unlucky club. He survived a second assassination attempt in close proximity to the first. When it happened to President Ford in 1975, the events took place a few hundred miles apart over a few weeks, one in Sacramento and one in San Francisco. The details of the second Trump assassination are still not yet fully known. Apparently, a Secret Service agent saw the barrel of the AK-47 protruding from a bush approximately 300 yards from where Donald Trump would be putting on the fifth hole and fired at the rifle. Now, the simple truth of the matter is, we live in one of the most violent societies on earth. Ask any school child who does the equivalent of hiding in closets what their grandparents did when they sheltered under their desks preparing for nuclear war in the 1950s. There are 300 million guns in America. After a massacre at a country music concert or a school or a shul or a church or anywhere in America, MAGA Republicans usually offer their thoughts and prayers. So first, let me offer mine. Second, the fact of the matter is, Donald Trump is a man of violence. He stokes violence. He curates violence. He thrives on the chaos and the instability which he injects into the society as a chaos agent, seeking to divide. Out of the mayhem, his lies find a poisoned and fertile soil. Out of the delusions, Donald Trump is able to titillate and excite his cult followers. He's able to make them do and say and think anything. And all of the insanity that swirls around this doesn't know that it's partisan or not. When it reaches the deranged and the misinformed and the ill-informed, the people who live alone in information silos, who are aggrieved and enraged, some of them in America take action. They do evil things. And so the idea that Donald Trump is singularly threatened is an absurdity. There is a grave crisis in the United States Secret Service, and it must be addressed, because what is clear from the incompetence of the security coverage is that President Obama's life is in danger. President Clinton's life is in danger. President Bush's life is in danger. President Carter's life is in danger. All of the protectees' lives are in danger because on a sunny Sunday afternoon, a madman was able to get out of his car with an AK-47 in Florida, not the woods of Idaho or Oregon, walk to a concealed position in a bush on the fifth hole and point a weapon at the Republican nominee for president and get ready to shoot him. Because an agent on the ground was doing his job, Donald Trump is alive, and the nation has been spared for the second time in a month a catastrophe that would have torn our society apart. The last director of the Secret Service resigned. Making the new director resign won't do anything, but maybe giving the coverage assignment to a United States Special Operations team who did the duty in a place like Iraq or Afghanistan would. This is an agency that needs reforms. And the first people that will tell you this are the veteran Secret Service agents who kept a generation of American presidents safe. The Secret Service has been in trouble for quite some time. the lack of discretion and judgment by its agents on foreign trips, a culture of laziness and laxity that has allowed repeated penetrations of White House grounds. All of this is utterly, absolutely unacceptable and indefensible, and it must be fixed immediately. President Biden should be enraged this morning over this lapse, and because he is president, heads should roll. There should be no acceptance of this by anyone in the Biden administration or anyone in the American government, because it is absolutely unacceptable. Further, it is unsurprising that the richest man in the world, ironically or perhaps unironically, one of the dumbest Americans, was among the first to tweet something insanely stupid. Here's what Elon Musk said. Understand this. It is a lure baited and placed in the water. He knows that. He's baiting with one of the largest social media followings in the world, a sick person, to take a shot at the first black vice president of the United States, the first woman vice president of the United States. He is trolling the internet looking for a taker. Who will even the score? Does Elon Musk not understand that Tim Walz and Kamala Harris, like Joe and Jill Biden and George and Laura Bush and Bill and Hillary Clinton and Barack and Michelle Obama, live in constant danger for the rest of their lives? What does Elon Musk not understand about this? What does Elon Musk not understand about the security threats that the first black woman vice president of the United States faces? Of course she's threatened. She could be fired on anytime, any day, any place. And it's happened over and over and over again in American history. And Elon Musk has chosen to make light of it. What he said isn't just stupid, though it is, and profoundly so. It's deeply reprehensible. And in fact, he deserves a visit from the United States Secret Service, broken though it may be. How is it that this mayhem and this violence and this anger finds its way to the sickest people in America? Well, there's an answer, and it was revealed by one of the best political journalists working in the business, CNN's superb Dana Bash. Now, I've known Dana for a very long time, and honest to God, I have no idea what her politics are, other than she's for fairness. She's for justice. She's for the right thing, the public good, the public interest, however you wish to think about it. This was another weekend of chaos and violence, of near tragedy, prefacing catastrophe in America. But the most important thing that happened this weekend in America was the character portrait and deconstruction that took place on a television show on CNN, where despite all of the problems with the network, there remains a handful of deeply talented and trusted journalists. And what the American people got to see was a clinic, an interview that defined forever the depravity of the Yale Billies fraudulence for the American people to see.
The American media totally ignored this stuff until Donald Trump and I started talking about cat memes. If I have to, create stories so that the American media actually pays attention to the suffering of the American people, then that's what I'm going to do, Dana.
Sir, you just said that you're creating the story.
What's that, Dana?
You just said that this is a story that you created. So the eating dogs and cats thing is not accurate.
Dana, it comes from firsthand accounts from my constituents. I say that we're creating a story, meaning we're creating the American media focusing on it.
Nobody is disputing that the town of Springfield, Ohio, needs help. But you're not just a bystander. You're the senator from Ohio. So instead of saying things that are wrong and actually causing the hospitals, the schools, the government buildings to be evacuated because of bomb threats, because of the cats and dogs thing, why not actually be constructive in helping to better integrate them into the community, because there are a lot of employers there who say that the Haitian workers are helping fill jobs that they need desperately filled.
Dana, first of all, let me just respond to a couple of things that you said, but I want to start with something you said, which I think is frankly disgusting and is more appropriate for a Democratic propagandist than it is for an American journalist. There is nothing that I have said that has led to threats against these hospitals.
J.D. Vance is a United States Senator from Ohio who is slandering and endangering an Ohio town filled with Ohio men, women, and children. What Dana Bash is saying to him is that people who live in the town are begging the MAGA politicians to stop before someone gets killed. They're terrified of the bomb threats, of the insanity. J.D. Vance doesn't care about any of the people in the town, in the state, that he has the high honor to represent in the United States Senate. What they are to him are pawns, insects. They are not real to him. Instead, they are manipulatable pieces, part of a game. What happens to them doesn't matter so long as J.D. Vance wins the game. The interview is extraordinary and deeply revealing. He's a United States Senator. Did he call the police chief? The mayor? Did he go there himself or send a staffer to investigate the depravity, the craziness, the, frankly, dissolution of law and order of an Ohio town? He did none of those things. Instead, what he sought to do is inflame the situation. And no matter how much J.D. Vance tries to lie about the matter, the question that Dana Bash asked is precise and accurate and fair. It is the mayor of the town who is begging people like J.D. Vance to stop. It's the mayor of the town who's begging Donald Trump to stop, because the mayor of the town realizes and appreciates we have a sickness in our society that leads people like the man who was in the bush in Florida ready to take a shot at Trump. The sickness that Trump is inciting can land back on him. No one in MAGA seems smart enough to appreciate that. But it's true. Trump's a cancer. His violence is a cancer. He's safe, but in spite of the Secret Service, not because of it. All of our leaders are in danger at a time of swirling chaos. That much is clear. And we have some of the worst people in America with the biggest platforms and biggest microphones. And there's only one force that has the power to do anything about it. And it's a mighty force. The American people. 50 days. We decide who the 47th president of the United States is. If we choose an insane person, if we choose a liar and a criminal, the people who will pay the price for that are us. It's an important choice, and it will be felt by every single one of us. So when people say we don't share anything in common, ignore them, because we shared that in common. And the vice president couldn't be more correct. Broadly speaking, the great majority of us share much more in common than we do in disagreement. But with regard to the people the vast majority of us are in disagreement with, the people who think violence is okay, the people who think this madness is okay, it's time for them to hear from all of us. It's time for us to take the time to disrupt our lives, to send a message to all of them that enough is enough, is enough, is enough. This is The Warning. I'm Steve Schmidt. This is The Warning, and I invite you to subscribe on our Substack, on our YouTube channel. Follow us. Welcome to the community.